All right, let's get started. So welcome to today's show. And let me fix my screen so I can see my guest, Nancy Neff. Nancy, tell us all about why you're here.
My screen.
Can you hear me all right?
It wants me to check my camera. Yeah, it's fine.
Can you hear me, Nancy? I had her there for a minute. Let's try again.
Okay, I see
Nancy,
myself on the screen.
I can see you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay.
Well, great. Great to have you here. Let's get started.
Oh, technologies.
Yeah, I want to know your history. Tell us your history, first of all. You're one of my teachers, but let's talk about how you got to the Deborah King Center and what you do.
Okay, sure. And I have to tell you, as a preface, I really appreciated all those assignments in the master's and the graduates program about write your bio and write it in 200 words, write it in 300 words, write it in 50 words, because that's what I use to go back and, okay, what do I want to highlight? Oh, I don't want to say too much about that, but I want to say more about this. So that was very helpful, Deborah, even though it was time. So yeah,
well, that's
really
tactfully put. Actually, it's very painful. But you know, people really do appreciate it later when they find out that that's the way to get their message out, whatever their message to the world might be. So let's hear yours.
Okay, well, basically my underlying theme of my whole life was very high anxiety. I know that's not really dramatic. It's not like I was born with one leg or something, but I was just in such a high state of anxiety. As soon as I was born, basically, I mean, my mother was screaming when I was born and she had to be put unconscious. And I'm sure that brought me into the world, like feeling like nothing is safe. And I was very sensitive, kind of a nervous child. And my mother and I were just not a good combination. I mean, she's not a bad person, but she just tends to charge at things and trying to make them happen and push. That scared me. I just wanted to back away. And the more I tried to reach her and connect, the more she pushed, and the more scared I got. So I basically just spent my whole childhood reading, and all my friends were books, and I was afraid of people, which is not, really good for your social skills, but I was very good in school. I got great marks. The teachers loved me. They are the only people I interacted with. I didn't really have any friends. My friends were books. So it's no big surprise that I ended up in a computer career where I could interact with a screen and figure out problems and solve equations and debug a computer dump rather than have to actually talk to people. Because that was still scary for me. Like as a teenager in my 20s, I was afraid of everybody because I thought they were going to judge me, attack me, whatever. I felt kind of weird, like I didn't fit. I wasn't the fashion plate, the woman with a lot of dates, and I wasn't gorgeous, and I was just overly brainy people. And I felt like I really didn't fit in. I didn't have a tribe. And as a little side note, Deborah, the tribe that I've gotten now from the Deborah King group, and especially the masters and graduates, I've made some friends that I never thought I'd have this kind of friendship. Thank you for connecting this group together. It's wonderful.
It's really turned into something amazing. You're right, the tribe.
It's amazing. Yeah. It's such a source of nourishment. I mean, people actually listen to me and
care about
me
you
and understand. Yes, they really care about me, even though I'm completely different than they are. They're not saying, "Oh, you should be like this," or "Are you like that?" And it's great. I love it. It just I feel like it makes it to open up and be who I am. And through my computer career, I started to feel like this is just too limited. I hate to admit I have no friends at all. All my friends are books still, and that's not really healthy. So I started to have all these really intense dreams that didn't make any sense to me at all. Because I didn't have, at that point, I wasn't looking at my emotions. What's an emotion? And I wanted to figure out what the dream meant by solving an equation. And you can't do that with a dream. You have to dig into the feelings. I was scared. I was, lonely. I was, feeling left out or judged or whatever. So I started studying dreams, and that sort of opened up my little kind of shrunken right brain, my intuitive brain, because I think I was all logic and numbers and math and words before that. And I thought, wow, this is like a whole new world. It reminded me of when I was first in college and they put a woman in my dorm, in my room, who was an art major. And Deborah, she looked at things so differently than I did. It was like she was another being. I mean, she seemed like a nice person, but I just couldn't understand the way that she approached things, because I'm so logical. She was probably all right brains, and I see that I need guides to actually function well. So after the dreams, and I finally got out of IBM after 30 years. I survived. And then I started working on improving my vision, because I realized that my very limited eyesight, those really thick glasses that I grew up with from the time I was 5, that was constricting my energy as loosely as I understood energy at the time. And I started learning how to improve my vision, which I have done like quite a bit. I mean, it's hugely different. My whole world has opened up. It's eyesight and insight. Like I tell people, it's not just how clear the eye chart is. It's all about how you see the world, how you let yourself be seen. Are you receiving the images, or are you like grabbing at them and struggling to force them into clarity? So part of the practice that I have now, a lot of the practice that I have now, is helping people with their eyesight. So anyway, after that, I heard you on Hay House in 2009 being interviewed about, they bought the book, and Deborah, I just fell in love. I liked the way you talked. I liked your thought process. I liked the way you presented your ideas. I went out and I bought 3 or 4 copies of the book. I swallowed the book over and over and over. I gave several copies to friends. And I kind of just jumped on the Deborah King train. I went to your first workshop at Kripalu in January of 2010 when it was 10 degrees. It was so cold. And I haven't been following me ever since, and learning more, growing more. And I feel like even though I'm one of the longest lasting students, I don't feel like my expertise is energy healing. I feel like I'm much better at the coaching and the words and just, not the hands-on stuff. I can sort of do it, but I don't feel like it's my strength, that's okay. I've come to more acceptance about that. I don't have to be Misty with her hands in the air, or anybody else, Grace. I'm me. So and so, thank you for everything, Deborah. You have stretched me so much, and sometimes, yes, it's been painful, but boy, have I grown. Wow. Yeah. So I was thinking about a theme for this, and yes, the anxiety was a big one, but what I have learned mostly from you and the meditation and the sutras, the advanced meditation that you teach us, Deborah, that has really, really, really improved my anxiety. I am almost calm somehow. That's unheard of. That's really big. And when I'm not in that anxious fight or flight, oh no, a disaster is going to happen any minute, I can think clearly. I can really tune into the other person and listen to them and be much more helpful. I can come up with something useful to say, put my thoughts together without feeling like I'm scrambling. I'm not rushing. I'm just being present. That's probably still one of my biggest areas of focus, is to make sure I stay present as much as possible all the time, so that I can function. That's not really natural to me. I want to just fly away. So that's, the people that have taken your courses, they know that they can, by just looking at me, they can probably tell how Vata I am. And Vata people are not really grounded unless they pay attention to it. That's not their natural state.
Stop
and that's
for just
me.
a moment. Or just, I think you need to adjust your settings, Nancy. I'm getting feedback from you.
Okay.
I'm hearing myself over on your platform. Oh, good. That stopped it right there.
Okay. All I did was move the camera around. Okay.
Well, good job. So here's what I wanted to say, just to interject we have a lot of listeners and viewers here who aren't familiar with those terms. So tell them what Vata is.
Okay. Well, Vata is one of the 3 doshas, or basically physiological types of human beings. It comes from Ayurveda, the Indian medicine, ages old science of life, basically, is what it means. And the Vatas are the one, everybody's got all 3 pretty much, but some people have a high proportion of one and not a lot of the other. And so they have to work to stay more in balance. And that's me. The Vata is a slimmer, usually elongated body, long bones, loose, flexible joints, tends to anxiety and nervousness, connects much more easily at the higher chakras than the lower grounded ones. They have a lot of air and ether, the space between the space. They don't have a lot of earth. They don't have a lot of fire. It's basically air. So that's me. I'm all air. And yes, you can say I'm an airhead if you want. But yeah, it's so lots of thinking, bursts of activity, then you get tired. You don't have that sustained activity like somebody more steady would. So I work. I can't just pretend that I'm okay and, I haven't had a meal for 6 hours. I have to eat frequently, but not too much. And I need regular sleep. Routine is super important to me. If my schedule gets all tangled up and I stay up too late, I'm a mess the next day. And meditation is so helpful to me. It really makes a difference. And I try to get it in twice a day. I don't always, but the morning one I never, ever, ever miss. Since Deborah first taught it to us live at Kripalu in July of 2010, I did like every day meditation. It's like recharges my battery. I can feel my battery run down if I don't do it. Yeah.
Great. That's a great explanation of Vata. Tell us about the other 2, Nancy, as long as you're at it.
Yeah. Just briefly, the other 2, and you're probably thinking, oh, that sounds like my husband, or that sounds like my daughter. So just think about the people you know. So the first one, Vata, V-A-T-A, is usually more tall and slim, like me. The next one is Pitta, P-I-T-T-A. They are more a sturdier body, but not huge. Their bones are a little bit thicker, not the thin bones of the Vata. Where the Vata will get anxious and nervous when stressed, the Pitta will get angry or irritated or annoyed. Those are all little flavors of anger. And they often have sort of a reddish component to their complexion. They often have either red hair or blondish hair. Men sometimes have the early balding. And where with me, the Vata type, the thing I have to watch out for is getting scared and getting anxious and like getting so, nervous I can't function. The Pitta has to watch out for the temper. They're prone to anger. So they can, rage at somebody and like, I didn't really mean that, but I was triggered. Something got to me. And my first reaction is anger. So when stressed, they go to anger. When stressed, the Vata people go to anxiety. And then the third type is the sturdier. Oh, and the Pitta people's element. My element is air. The Pitta people's element is fire. Clearly that, the anger, and the third type is called Kapha, K-A-P-H-A. Kapha is a steady, sturdy, salt of the earth type. Nothing rocks them. They're just calm and collected. That's the kind of person that you want to be around if you're me, because I'm not calm usually. And they just make me feel so safe. There are a couple of Kapha people in the upper levels of the program that I just want a hug from them, and I feel like everything will be all right. They just have that safety vibe to them. Their dominant element is earth. They tend to gain weight easily, which, that's not, they don't love that. But salt of the earth people, you need those people. And their energy is much more steady. They can go and go and go and go and not get tired. And just, I wish I had a little bit of kapha. As I said, everybody's got some of all three. I have hardly any kapha at all. So
what happens to them when they get out of alignment? What's their go-to emotion?
Okay, when a kapha gets out of alignment, yes, thanks, I forgot, Deborah, they get depressed. They get sort of sluggish and slow moving and lethargic. They're the type that will just sit on the couch and kind of just not do anything. And I remember reading, I like words, I write a lot, blogging and those kinds of things. And when the Vata people like me get out of balance, it's called the Vata gets deranged. It's not like we're really crazy, but we're just, it's all in our brain. It's all jumbled and our thoughts are racing. And we just, that's what happens to the Vata. The Pitta person, the fire person, the one who's angry, when the Pitta gets out of balance, it's called that the Pitta gets inflamed. So you can kind of see that, they're like on the brink of yelling at somebody. And then when the Kapha person, the steadier, heavier, slower moving person gets out of balance, they get congested. They're sluggish, they're slow moving, as I said, and their main element is earth. So
wow, isn't that
okay,
Nancy a natural teacher? Oh my goodness. Hey, just one thing I want to add.
Sure.
I'm still getting that reverb. Are you guys hearing it?
I don't hear it, Deborah.
Okay. So just referring back to us Pitta folks, because I'm a Vata Pitta, we fire people. We don't like to think we're getting angry. We'd rather say that we're just getting a little bit frustrated. So that's the go-to word here. It's frustrated. Yes. And Pitta people, we like to finish other people's sentences for them. And let me see if that's coming from me, actually. Somebody over here in the window thinks it is.
I don't.
There's a tech here in the background. Let me ask. Hold on a minute there. See if I can get rid of that echo. Oh, no, I didn't hear it there. Oh, there it is. Well, anyway, Nancy, just an additional element there is that Pitta folks, they get very frustrated. They finish your sentence for you. I'm famous for that. I'm famous for that. Yeah, they're very frustrated. There isn't enough time. Not enough time.
Right. I have a Pitta person in my small group, and yes, I'm learning more about Pitta from her. One thing about them is they're very impatient. Yes, there's not enough time.
And the more Pitta out of whack they are, the more impatient they get. Yeah. Hey, this has been great. Let's get some questions going for Nancy and myself. So I'll go over here to the question board, and first up is. And let's bring somebody up with us. Dimple, see if we can get a third person on the screen. Okay, sometimes I can. This is a twerky program I'm running here on Crowdcast. It can get kind of tricky getting someone up. But in the meantime, while we're waiting to see if Dimple can join us, oh, here she comes. Hey, you guys. Hey. Tell us your question.
Hi, Nancy.
Hi.
This is my mother-in-law, Kamlesh.
Kamlesh, so nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you too. The second time I had met you at I Can Do conference.
I remember.
But it's a pleasure. I'm just visiting Dimple, and she just told me that, and she follows you. She talks to me about you all the time, and
wonderful.
I'm feeling really fortunate to have this opportunity to talk to you. My question to you is that I have life challenges quite a bit with 2 family members with mental illness, and I always have been feeling all my life, even when I was 4 years old, that I should be doing something, to enrich other people's lives and enrich myself. And I'm a learner. I need to learn so much in my life, but I don't have the opportunity. And now I'm diabetic, and now I'm at the stage where it scares me that I may not be able to fulfill my life purpose that I meant to be. And I feel that all the time that I'm missing something. I should be doing something, and I just don't know how to start. I'm stuck. I feel stuck, and I just wanted your input into that. And also, if you can tell me, please, what is my Ayurvedic dosha? I feel I may be kapha, but I don't know.
All right. I'll let Nancy take a crack at that first. Her questions. She asked 2 questions, really, Nancy.
Right. I'm trying to think about which one I want to tackle first. Can you tell me why you think you're kapha?
Sorry, say that again. Oh, why you feel? Because I heard you talking about this. The kapha people are very sturdy, calm, and collective. And with all the challenges that I've been going through for the past 45 years, I still have managed to keep myself very calm and collective, where other people have given up on my life and told me to get out of it, but I stayed put because of my family, and I continue to do that. So that's the only sign I feel, because I just heard you talking.
Yeah, I think that's a big one, though. I think you've really nailed it. I mean, even more than the physical characteristics, the bigger body or the slower moving, it's the inner steadiness.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the earth. I mean, think about the Earth Mother. The kind of personality like you just described, that the family revolves around. That you're the center of the family. Everybody feels safe around you.
Right.
Yeah.
If you feel safe around a person, there's a good chance they have a lot of kapha. Right. So I pretty much agree with you there.
I just kind of all my life, I forgot about myself, and I had so many ambitions, but I didn't, except working, I had to work for my family, and I achieved quite a bit there, but still I have some inner things that I need to achieve, and I don't know how to start, and whether I'll be able to do that or not. That's my biggest you can say is not even, I shouldn't say worry, but it's something that I feel that I'm not complete without doing that, and I feel all the time I'm complete, and I don't want to leave this world without I feel complete and enriched inside.
Right.
I'm missing all that.
Do you have a clear picture of what you want, or are there 2 or 3 things that I really would like to achieve that, or I would really like to?
See, even when I was a child, I just never had any picture that this is what I want to do. All I saw myself, even I was 4 years old, I remember, and all my life I saw I'm standing in front of people and I'm helping them. I see 100 people sitting in front of me. I don't know where that picture got stuck in my head. And I still feel, and I'm being told by my colleagues and friends that you should have been a psychologist. And I think I have that kind of in me. I can help other people, whereas I'm not able to apply that into my own life, because.
Well, I want to interject something here. I think you're selling yourself short. You can hear me okay?
I can perfectly. Thank you.
I'm sensing that you are adopting a cultural viewpoint of women that somehow leaves you feeling unfinished and inferior. Well, I could have gotten a degree. I could have been in a career, where it feels like your natural view of yourself, and also nature's view of yourself, your dharma, was to help people, but I'm sensing it was through the family.
That's what I could figure it out about 15 years ago. I'd like to help my ill son and my ill husband.
So what I want to do is have you have a deep feeling about yourself that you are already complete, that you are already living your dharma, your life purpose, that you're in the midst of it, that you are in fact at the epoch of it, that you're at the top of your game, as we would say. that you're the you're
convinced somehow.
you're one of the wisdom keepers now, and that this is wisdom you're offering these family members. They may not see it that way. They may object. They may try to disregard it. But in fact, you're putting in an important, it feels like body of thought for not just your family, but for others who know you.
I have received lots of respect from people around and my family, my children, Dimple especially. She's always my coach and guide, and she's always supporting me all the time. And I'm basically, I like everything that Dimple does because I'm on the same, like my thinking is the same as Dimple's is. But at the same time, I feel that spiritually, I needed to gain something. I need to learn something. I have started doing meditation now lately. And I don't know if you see that I'm able to do it properly, or
I'm sure. I know. I'm sure. Yeah. No, you feel very balanced to me. Like Nancy mentioned, you're very. Her cough is very strong. You feel fully developed as a wisdom keeper, and so I'd like for you to have a new affirmation for yourself that I am complete. I am complete. And I don't sense at all when you're talking about how you feel like you haven't yet done it or it's still out there. I'm not sensing that at all about you.
I totally understand what you're saying, but Deborah, I still feel the missing. The link is missing inside me. I have that void. I've been feeling for the last, I think maybe 30 years, I'm feeling that void. I was okay while I was working because I gained a very high position at my job. I accomplished quite a bit. But after that, after I retired, that void is bigger now. Because now I'm been retired since the last 14 or 13 years, and now that
well, can we unretire you?
I would love to. I mean,
I was talking to a team, one of my team members this morning, and we were saying how we don't know anybody who retires anymore. Well, first of all, we don't know anyone who can afford to.
Yeah,
we don't.
I do work just a Saturday. So my son is a doctor. I work in his clinic just to help him out, and but that's not enough. I still have that void inside. Emotionally, I have that void.
Have you thought about unretiring yourself and coming back with all this wisdom you have on an ad hoc basis in a giving mode? You're not looking for compensation. That's not how you measure yourself anymore.
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
Why don't you find a foundation or a charity and give there?
That's what I want to do.
What did you do before?
I'm originally from India. I was a lecturer in the college. I have a master's degree and all that. And
in
then
what field?
In my own language, literature. And then I came here and I did management degree, and then I worked with a telecommunication company, and I retired at a very good position.
So you have two careers in your pocket here. You have telecommunications and you have languages.
Right.
I don't think it's going to be hard for you to market yourself as someone who can give value. Whatever your favorite topic is, Dimple might have told you that I'm really encouraging people these days to get themselves on TED. Have you thought about doing a TED Talk?
Oh, I have seen some of the TED Talks videos, but no,
You might think about that because it'll take you.
I want to be a speaker. Somewhere, not at a position where I gain famous or anything. No, I just want to be. Like I see myself standing in front of people and talking about things.
Well, great. Then I must be headed the right way here.
The way to start. I feel that this is something I should be doing.
Let me just tell you how easy it is for you to get rolling. In a matter of a day of research online, you will find half a dozen to a dozen possible TED locations for yourself. It'll take you a couple of weeks to fill out the applications. They're fairly intense, actually.
Okay.
And you will be so stimulated by this because you will come up with a couple of things that you're super passionate about. And it could be anything. I can't tell you what your passions are,
Right.
only you know, but things that could change the world, things that you're upset about, things you don't feel are right, things you think people are missing. For example, I have been working for a while on my favorite topic, which is the need for forgiveness. I don't think there's enough of it. I think people are too busy blaming and charging and convicting, and we forgot all about forgiveness. And I think it's critical to our cultures moving forward. So that happens to be my, key topic of the moment, but yours might be something very different. You might be worried about rights of children or rights of women or.
See, what I just feel that, yes, women, I really need to do something with women. I need to help them out. And I just, half an hour ago, I was telling Dimple, you know what I want to do? Like how I struggled when I came 45 years to Canada from India. There are so many families who struggle so much. I should collect everybody's story and publish a book on that, and just
there's another idea. Yeah, there's no reason for you to stop your forward movement as a
across the ocean or something.
There's no reason for you to stop your forward movement as a member of this culture that has value to offer. When I tune into you, I sense a person who is fully evolved and has all this information. That's where I started talking to you 10 minutes ago. I said, you're fully evolved. You're not like half cooked. You're like a wisdom keeper. So your only question is how to get your wisdom out there. And you're not looking necessarily, you're not a 40-year-old that needs to make a living.
No, living is not the issue for me right now.
Right.
That's not the issue.
And if I could reflect for a moment on your home country, there's many things you could talk about with them that need correction. And as a great lover of India, and I've been there many times, I teach, as you know, I teach all, probably your daughter's told you, I teach
yes, she tells me.
meditation that's from East India. I mean, I'm a big fan, but they have a lot of social justice issues. They have a lot of rights of women issues. Goodness. You could really do a lot of good there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. They'd love to have a woman of your caliber taking a firm stand on their behalf.
Can I ask you one question? My son, who's mentally ill, he's 42 years old and he's not able to work or even get out of the house. He has social phobia. He gets nervous. He gets anxiety. Even my own family can't come to my house that often. My friends, we have not have any visitor in our house for the last maybe 17 years. Do you see any improvement in that area in my son's life?
I can't look at him because I don't have his permission.
Oh, I see.
I'd be happy to talk to him if you can.
He's in Winnipeg actually, and he's the type he will not come.
Well, he probably doesn't want to be on a video call if he has a phobia.
Yeah,
That would probably be the last thing he'd want to do.
No, he would not. He would not. He's
But there are other ways that we could work on trying to help him. That's such a surprisingly common issue that's kept pretty secret. People don't like to talk about it. So that's another topic you could address as one who has a loved one.
Yeah, I thought about that too.
Yeah, you could bring attention to that because rarely do I hear anybody say anything about it.
No, and my husband is also schizophrenic, and my son is schizoaffective. My husband is managing his illness, but I married when I married him, he was sick already, but I didn't know because.
But that's very different from a social phobia.
Yeah.
That's a whole different.
Functionable. But my son is not functionable at all.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Thank you.
So he lives at home with you?
He lives with me. Yeah, with us, me and my husband. Yes.
Maybe we could work on that at a different time in a private setting of some sort. Yeah, that sounds very troubling to you, I'm sure.
It is.
But it sounds like you have another son who's accomplished and in business.
I have two more sons who are accomplished. They're very accomplished.
So it's just the one.
Just the one, the youngest one. He's actually Dimple's husband and my other son in me.
So I'd like to really inspire you to get your messages out there. You look at all these important things you have, and important, as I sensed initially, you've got all this wisdom. You know, we women, we are the wisdom bearers more so than the men. The men are busy conquering and, you know, decimating and fighting wars. And really,
I just want to be in that giving mode right now, so I can, you know, have some satisfaction, internal satisfaction. Beside my family, I need to do something for myself.
I get it.
This is
So you can do it as simple as staying home and throwing yourself at something like a TED Talk. You would get tremendous satisfaction, and you can help change the world. Pick your topic. Pick the one that's inspiring you the most right now, and it won't cost you anything. You won't get paid anything either. So it'll be you don't care. You don't care.
Yeah, not the issue right now.
Right.
Not at all.
Right. Well, wonderful talking to you.
Oh, thank you so much, Deborah.
You're very inspiring.
Thank you. And it's such a pleasure to see both of you, Nancy, you too. We haven't seen Nancy before, but Deborah, Dimple always talks about all of you guys. And every time she's on your show, she's always giving me the update. Okay, Ma, this is what we learned. This is what we did.
Dimple ought to talk to you about joining level 4 is what Dimple should talk to you about. You'd be a prime candidate, Dimple.
Oh,
You'd be a prime candidate.
Yes.
oh, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so
Great
much.
seeing you guys. Take care.
Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
We'll go look and see if we have other questions, Nancy.
That was great.
Yeah, isn't she fun to talk to? Let's see.
Yeah, well, one of the things that I wanted to convey in my little story was that even though here I am, you know, introverted, you know, self, you know, in the computer, I still have something to offer. Everybody has something to offer. Everybody, we need all of us. And you might think you're too different, or you're too, you know, like Dimple's mother. She's, you know, I'm home now. I don't know what to do. And, you know, I've had all these careers, but I want to contribute. I don't know what to do. She just has to be herself and put it out there, and people will love it. And that's true for everybody. So, yeah.
Right. Hold on. Let me see if I can get Caroline.
Yeah.
Caroline, I invited you up. I don't know if you can come or not. Hold on. I'll go look. Here's Caroline. Is that Caroline?
Yeah, that's me. Hello.
Yeah, just a little different lighting. Hi there.
Yeah,
Nice
that's
to
true.
see
I'm
you.
just trying to arrange it, but it's a little difficult.
I love the sound. You have terrific audio.
Oh, thank you very much.
Sound like you could start singing.
Well, maybe I start with speaking before singing.
Well, tell us
first-
your question, Caroline.
Yeah, first of all, Deborah, I'm so happy. You might not remember, but we talked on February 8th. It was this birthday show we had.
All right.
And you said that you wouldn't really come to Europe. And you know what I just figured out is that you would come to Hamburg, to Germany in June.
Yes, I'm coming.
Yeah, that's my hometown.
Really?
So I'm so happy.
Great.
So I will be there for sure. So I'm really, really happy.
Wonderful. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm very jazzed. It all came together very quickly in the space of about 2 days, and was quite serendipitous. I swore I would never go to Europe again is now coming, spending a month.
Yeah, right. And I was just, you know, I was reading it, and I was shocked in a positive way, because I thought, and it's even my hometown, you know, like,
Very
hello.
cool. Well, bring a bunch of friends. It's been a while
Yes.
since I've been to Hamburg.
Wonderful. So that's really what I wanted to say. So thank
Aren't
you
you
so much.
sweet? Thank you.
And what I would like to ask you, Deborah, and Nancy, is the last time we talked about my thyroid issue, and you also you said, you know, rather go to a specialist and see what's going on. And after our talk, my symptoms have really gotten worse. So I was just trembling all the time, sweating, my heart. Yeah. So everything just I was just totally off. And then I went to a specialist. And now I'm taking medicine. I'm taking two kinds of medicine, one for my thyroid and one for my heart, because my heart was totally out of whack. And
I'm so glad you went.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for saying that, because, you know, I'm normally not really taking medicine, chemical medicine. So I'm totally, you know, I'm
sometimes
trying.
it's totally the right thing to do.
Right. And I thought, you know, also because you said, just do it. And now, but I think you have already answered the question, because I was wondering whether this is really the right thing for me. And I am also I'm now going to I'm getting acupuncture. I am having acupuncture sessions, and I really feel that
that
really,
feels good too.
Ah, wonderful, because, the lady said, that the little needles, they don't really stick in my legs, because she said, you're so, there's so much tension, but now we're getting to it. So, and I feel such a relief after these sessions, and I'm really feeling grounded, and I'm really happy that I just followed your advice also, because you also talk about acupuncture a lot, what I feel. Recently, and the author says that behind thyroid disease is the Epstein-Barr virus, and I would really like to have your opinion on that, because he says, simply detox, skip some food, do it for 3 months, and then you might be healed. And I just would like to have your opinion on that, because
I am not necessarily picking that up in you. I'm just not sensing it. That doesn't mean it's not there. But I would steer you actually toward Western medicine and get you on a regular support program of the medications you're currently being prescribed, because I think you were quite out of balance, and I think they're very helpful to you.
Yeah,
I'm not picking up Epstein-Barr, and I'm not necessarily agreeing with the premise of the author.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
And one last thing is that
And just one more thing.
Yeah.
I would suggest that you not, surprisingly, I don't know why I'm being guided to say this, but I don't think I'd spend a lot of time reading about this online.
Sorry, I didn't understand.
I'm being guided to tell you not to read a lot online.
About
about it, because I think you're very Vata like Nancy. And we Vatas, we don't do as well taking in a lot of volunteer kind of information. It would confuse you and I think upset you. I would just listen to what the doctors say and follow their directives.
Thank you for saying that, because that's exactly what I did.
Well,
I ran here and I checked this and I did this.
Yeah, because it feels very physical. It feels very physical.
All right.
And just one more thing, and Nancy will agree with this, I know. Vata types, and which you are, I mean, you're just a classic Vata Pitta over there, or maybe a Pitta Vata with that red hair. But you've got a lot of Vata at the moment. And when we get out of whack, our heart rhythm can very often go completely south on us. I don't know if that's ever happened to Nancy, but it certainly has to me, especially when I was your age. It's very frightening. It's like, what's it going to do? Stop?
Absolutely. Exactly. Every night when I was lying down, like,
I know,
I wake up.
It's really startling. Yeah. So, I would read less and just get outside more, walk a lot. Now it's summertime. It's almost, well, not in Germany, not quite, but it's coming soon.
Well,
coming soon.
Deborah, I picked up on the red hair too, and I was thinking, she's got a lot of pitta, and I'm thinking about being outside in the moonlight, cool her down, just any kind of hot anxiety going on, worry that's kind of, getting like more anxious, just calm. But being outside, the earth, walking on the grass.
Yeah. Be great for her. Yeah, so good to see you, and you're feeling really a lot better to me.
Yeah, she feels more balanced than the last time we saw her.
I'm calmer. I feel calmer somehow.
Yeah, you feel calmer. Well, you're more relaxed about your health. You feel like it's on the right. You've turned a corner, heading the right direction.
The only thing is that I don't eat. Well, I'm almost vegan. I do eat cheese. Besides that, I don't eat any animal products. And I've heard now twice from one Ayurvedic lady and from a TCM lady that I'm undernourished. Well, not that I'm,
Here the third time. Here the third time from me. You are undernourished.
Right.
You need.
Are eggs a possibility?
Mhm. Eggs? Do you mean eggs?
Yes, eggs.
Well,
Yeah, are eggs a possibility rather than, I mean, you don't have to kill an animal to eat an egg if that's your concern. I'm just,
What is the feeling there, Caroline?
for me, it's really I don't want to eat animals. You know, they are, you know.
Are you eating a lot of beans and legumes and mixed with grain?
I try to do that. I try to do that, but it's not as much. I do eat a lot of nuts, and I do eat a lot of raw food. You know, like,
raw's not suitable for you. You're too vata for that. You need everything. Yeah, everything needs to be cooked
okay.
so that you can digest it. Your system's not strong enough for raw food. And even if you were a big, robust kapha, I wouldn't have you eating raw food in you know, in the springtime.
So also vegan might not be. Yeah, well,
It's not a good choice, no.
Okay. All right.
I'd love for you to have to really rethink a little bit your thoughts on our relationship with the animal and the plant kingdom.
Yeah, I will.
Because I would love for you to have some small amounts of animal food. It would really sustain you.
Okay.
But in the meantime, be sure you cook everything.
Yeah.
And lots of small, frequent meals.
All right.
All right. And I'm really looking forward to seeing you.
Me too. And I'm almost through to, you know, I am Life Force Energy Healing 3 because you said, you know, just.
Hey, I'll tell you
really,
something else you can do.
Really
You can call my publisher in Germany. It's a company called Scorpio.
Okay.
Easy to find. Give them a call and tell them how much you would like to see my new book, Heal Yourself, Heal the World, in German.
Oh, wonderful.
And
yeah.
Maybe they'll print some and get them there for us. You just have to.
Wonderful.
Yeah, the supplier just emailed me this morning and said, have your students call the publisher.
Oh, okay. I will do. How do you spell it?
Scorpio.
SCO?
You know what? Let me just look it up real quick. I didn't check myself, but I imagine it's just like the
astrological sign.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I will just double check it.
Yeah, it's not Scorpio.com, but if I put in Scorpio Publishing Germany, I bet it'll pop up.
Yeah.
Yep,
I
here
will
it
check
is.
that.
It's FKP Scorpio, something very, very, very German following.
Okay.
I have never ever claimed good with languages, and it's going to be so embarrassing. Not so much in Germany, where no one really expects me to carry on in German, but it is shocking how poorly I do in French, considering I've spent a fair amount of time there and have a French husband. One would think that I would master the language, but I haven't. I really haven't. Well, great seeing you.
Thank you very much, Deborah. Thank you
talking
very
to
much, Nancy. Thank you. Bye-bye.
It's going to be really fun to see her, huh? So let's look at some other questions we have here. Nancy, so nice to have you on. And I don't think
Pleasure, Deborah.
Yeah, I don't think you can see the questions, but let's see if we have time to get one more person on here. Betsy, let's see if we can pull you up real quick, okay? And while we're waiting to see if Betsy can join us, just a couple of points that just in another 10 days, I'll be in the expo at New Living Expo that's just outside of San Mateo at the Convention Center. Great place to catch me. And I'll be speaking there, keynoting for them at noon on Saturday. And then just 10 days after that, I head to Europe And just to walk you through where I'm going, I'm going to be in Scotland on, hold on just a minute and I'll pull the dates for you. I'll be in Scotland on June 6th. I'll be in London for a 2-day workshop on June 9 and 10, a Saturday and Sunday. Then I'm heading to the French city of Lyon. I'll be in Lyon the evening of June 14th. Then to Hamburg for a workshop on Sunday, June 17th. And then to Paris for a talk on the 21st, and then a 2-day workshop in Paris on the 23rd and 24th. So it sounds like a really fun European tour. I'm very much looking forward to it. I haven't done it in a few years. So Nancy, maybe you can come join us for part of it.
Oh, I don't know.
Doesn't it sound like
I'm
fun?
thinking
A little Parisian holiday. So the person I invited evidently doesn't have their camera, but I see over here that Eva has cleverly posted the Scorpio link for us over here in the window. Hey guys, give them a call or drop them a love note and tell them that you'd love to see my new book, Heal Yourself, Heal the World, published in German. And voila, as the French say, we will make it happen. All right, it's great having been with you guys. Super to have one of my key teachers, Nancy Neff, on. She just, as you can all see, she's just a natural born teacher. And I hope to see you all again next week. Until then, you guys take care.